Oh, good afternoon, everyone. It's not very good when you're late for your own show, is it? How are we this afternoon? Are we good? It's it's such a lovely day that I feel like I should be really fired up. And I thought, no, we need to have a little bit of a chill day, don't we? I think just take it easy. I've just realised, haven't put the overhead camera on, you know, all that stuff. We'll get to it. Well, Steve's here, we'll work it out. Yeah, we might need it, not sure yet. Good afternoon. Louise, how do you do that? Every time you're the first one to say hello. It's look, I'm even sitting down already. What a worry. Good afternoon. Hello, Diana. How are you today? How are things in Costa Rica? Good afternoon, Diane. Karen. Hi, girls. Hello, Cindy. How are things in rural New South Wales? I hope they are really well. Cindy is, for everyone, halfway between, I think I've got it right, Dubbo and Orange. I think I've got that right. I'm not going to say in the middle of nowhere because it's not. It's the centre of our universe when you're here with us on Facebook. Sue McGonchi, hello to you. Marie, hello. Both my Maries are here. Hello, Marie Ansi. Hello, Marie Evans. Oh, you didn't. Oh, you got the COVID now. So you don't have it for the soiree. Yes, well, Margaret and I were talking about that on the weekend, that we're kind of going into hibernation by about Sunday, so that we're good for next week. Karen, don't do that. She'll be on a plane coming home from overseas, so she's our high risk factor. But Em's not coming into work on Tuesday, purely for that reason that we all stay apart. We were sort of saying we're a bit like the royal family. We never travel on the same plane, and it's the same next week. No one talks to anyone similar because we've all got to make sure we make it to the soiree. Diane, thank you. The peacocks are gorgeous, and we have had them up before, but there's a story. More friends have arrived, and I had a couple of ideas. So yes, we're just gonna play that game today. Just a couple of ideas to show you. Nothing too serious, just a couple of little bits of thoughts I had on how to use them, and also thanks to, coincidentally, a couple of members of A Quilter's Life who both came up with the same idea when I did a little bit of a chat Monday morning about it. Fiona, Lisa and the gang. So who's in? It's just me and Steve today. Tomorrow is full house tomorrow. Steve, Phil, Mum and me tomorrow. Madly packing off pre-cuts, applique sampler, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the gang's about. Pauline, loud and proud in Black Bart. Hello to you with your appropriate Ulysses butterfly. Love it. Lynn, hello. Gail's here. What do you mean it's raining and cold in Thorpedale? Really? Did it miss us? It must have missed us and headed straight for you, Fee. Cheryl, your pack left today. We talked yesterday. Barb, done your order. Nancy's here. Yeah, you've got an appointment. You got to go at 3. Yes, Sharon? Sure. I'll get all the important stuff done before then. Karen, Judy, thank you for the embroidery patterns. Oh, my pleasure. I'm assuming you're talking about the gorgeous Margaret Upstons. And Cindy says I'm right. Phew, that's right. Glynis, Jeanette, raining all day in Costa Rica. That means I don't have to watch CNN now to get the full global weather report. Thank you very much. Marie Noel. Hi, Christine. Jackie. Oh, Jack. Yeah, it is. Well, oh, shoot, that was a bit of a cackle, wasn't it? Jackie, you're so funny. So the A Quilter's Life girls on Monday, we had a little bit of, they kept me company while I unpacked very mismatching dysfunctional fabric, and there was nothing on the set, so it does look different. It does look very different to Monday. Now, so it's fine in Beaconsfield. Denise is here. Hi. All right. So what I wanted to do today, I've got lots of little. It's sort of little bits and pieces, and if it feels a little bit dysfunctional, that's because I've got a soiree next weekend. So on the weekend, this weekend just gone though, yeah, probably should have been here sewing, but got to spend the weekend with Margaret and Ralph and the amazing foundation they're part of, which is Foster, I've got to get it right now because Margaret's watching me. Foster Care Indonesia, I think. Anyway, what you do is you ring around, you get everyone from the local community, from Drew and from everywhere down that way, West Skippy Way, and you throw them all together in the Garfield Recreational Hall, which is where we're having our soiree. 150 of them all in, and then Margaret's sister whacks out catering for 150 high tea, 4 courses of high tea, for which I had the privilege and the pleasure of working with her and helping her for the day, and we set up on the Saturday. And oh my goodness, silent auctions, raffles, the whole bit, raised a truckload of money to go to all these beautiful, beautiful children in orphanages in Indonesia. So 1, had a great time. 2, lots of money raised. 3, got to work the hall where we're having the soiree. So all over it now, all over the kitchen, understand it all. Margaret and I will be down there again on Friday, and so by the time you arrive on the Saturday, we'll act like it's ours because we'll know it really well. So that's what we did on the weekend. So if I haven't got much done or it seems a little bit disjointed, it's because we're working towards that, and the applique sampler going out, and what on earth are those things doing here? Getting everything ready. Cass is back, which is very, very important. Alex is getting better. Love to Alex and to Wolf, because Alex, poor little man, hospital, ruptured appendix, not pleasant, core, scary, and he's back, he's home, and he's getting better, and we are so, so pleased that he's okay. So all of our love to him, and Cass is back. So things will start rolling out again. When you're in a little team, one man down makes such a big difference, but you know, we also know each other really well and care and rally and all that stuff. So we're really, really happy that young Alex, who I've known, well, since before he was born, is on the mend. So it's all good. It's all good here. Now, what have I got to show you? First of all, I just wanted to run this by you. Ooh, we've got a new ring light in here, so I've got more light showing my wrinkles from that direction. And then when the next delivery arrives, there'll be more wrinkles from that direction. But we will not be in the dark for sewing anymore, so we can get stuck in with the sewing machine now. Oh, thanks, Joan. Yeah, the girls, did you like my little hack on folding your fabric and your borders? Do you like the, sorry, Jane likes the jumper. This was not an op-shop purchase. This was, there's a cool little jumper shop in the Dramana shopping centre where the awesome Best in Australia IGA is. It's in there. Jane, you'll know where that is. Down that way. Best little shop. Okay, now, soiree, I just want to show you what I'm doing because you've got the pattern as well for what I'm doing. So, I don't even know where I am now. Okay, this one. Oh, yes, up close and personal. Goodness me. So, this is this beautiful precious metals silver that we've got in stock. And we just got notification yesterday that the next bolt of this is coming, plus, finally, the gold. So we'll have the gold back in stock. If you remember, we used the gold in our jade Chinatown totes that's got my green dragons in it. So that will be here, oh, I'm guessing next week. Hopefully next week. So these pieces here are being put together with this. Some of you will own this. We did a little pack of pre-cuts for bunting back at Christmas, and I stashed the rest of this bolt because I knew that the soiree would have a 1920s kind of black silver mirror theme to it with a little splash of colour. There's a little splash of colour in there. But I knew that's what we're going to have, and I wanted to make really nice little scrap bags for the table. So I'm just pulling out my little fabric basket pattern. I know a lot of you have made heaps and heaps of these, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew how to scale them down and mess with them as well. I know, Sharon Keys, you've made umpteen thousands of these. So what's in there? Oh, Applique sampler girls, you know what that's for, 1/4 inch bias tape, masking tape, quilter's tape. So I wanted to make some of these up to sit on the table because I thought these colours would be perfect. So but this is too big. So the pattern on, I didn't want them this big. Here's my first gel out. Stevie, may I please have a Creative Grids 12.5 by 1.5 inch ruler, buddy boo? Yeah. Thanks. So this is, yeah, so if you use the template on your free download on the website, and I have marked it under today's banner for you. I'm assuming he's put the banner up, I'll ask him. It's under the banner. They're cut 5 wide. So the template, which is like a little, we call it a house or a banner template. Did you put the banner actually live? Thanks. Yeah, so these are 5, but I wanted mine a bit smaller. And what young Stephen has done with his new toy, oh my goodness, has he been busy with the new toy, with the cutter. He's actually cut 2 metre lengths of the fabric, and he's gone this way, lengthways down the bolt. So if you were going to make a whole heap of these, or little drawstring bags, instead of cutting them all to start with as all little individual panels, we've gone long because I got a few to make. So what we'll do is turn these over. I'm going to put you back on this camera, and I'm going to lean over and zoom out a bit. That's better. So it's all a case of, you know, we've got heaps to do. So I'm actually going to layer, how many has he given me? 4 and 4 together, like this. Now, when you come to cut, actually it's really frugal cutting at 4 because we got 10 widths across the bowl, which is amazing. These are actually them as well, but they're actually on the fold. I've got to iron those ones out. The main thing that you need to do is get yourself that right angle V at the bottom for the template. So when you print it off and have a look at it from the website, you've got to get yourself a V. Now, you can do that. These aren't 4, these are 5. Stevie, these are 5. I thought we were going down to 4. Oh, they're all a little bit different. Let's not go there right now. Okay, so these ones are 5. I thought these were going to be 4 wide, but they're 5 wide.
You told me 5.
Oh, well then they're going to be this. They're going to be this size. That's all right. The girls will just have more scraps. That's all. They can afford to be messier. Oh well, I got heaps. Massive amount. How many people are coming to this gig? I don't know. Alright, so what I want you to do to get this, you need this right angle here. Now you can mess around with the ruler and do all of that, but what I tend to do, if this is 5, I will find the middle. I'll just use the pen. So 2.5 in the middle. Oh, my brain's not working. I'll move it down there. 7.5. So that's my middle there. And then I need to come up 2.5 and 2.5. So if it's 5, the middle's 2.5, and then come up 2.5 each side. If it was 4, you would be marking at 2, and then you'd be marking a 2-inch mark on each side. That's going to give me my right angle. So all I need to do now is cut this through on those marks. And I've got to make sure when I go around the corner, I'm not nervous or anything, but there we go. I'm going through 8 layers at a time, so a little bit of persuasion was required. All right, there you go. So these are now right angle cut. So what I can do now is actually decide how tall I actually want these to be. Now, that's quite tall. I don't need mine that tall for the table. I'm not sure if I actually want any of it to roll down. If I do roll it down, it will just be just a hint pressed down, so those sitting at the table can see a little pop of colour coming from the other side. And because I've chosen white and silver, I might put, you know, 2 on each table and reverse them. So, and that means that maybe I'll be having white and silver for Christmas this year. If I don't get anything else done, I'll be able to keep these and use them. So if you have a look at this again now too, this is, all of this bit here is actually in the base. You're not going to see any of that. And also keep in mind that this of course includes our seam allowance. So if I want them sort of dead square so that, you know, they are literally just looking like oh, you can't see that. So that I've just pretty much got a square that's visual here, then I will take them up 5 inches from that point where after we've cut the angle in. So that is there. And, you know, if I just want a little bit turned over, maybe about 1/2 inch, I'll come up a little bit, just 1/2 inch higher, and yeah, giving myself just a square. So if I show that to you, you can see that now. So, you know, we've got seam allowance in here too, but I'll have enough to fold over about that much at the top. And that way I'm going to have just a really nice, it's going to sit like that. And have my nice little fabric pots for everyone to pop their scraps and their lolly wrappers in. It's going to sit like that, and then we'll just have a little bit of the colour from the inside turned over on the edge. Now, if you wanted to do this as well and turn them into perhaps bottle bags or something, then you're just going to grab your bottle of wine or whatever you're going to put in and measure it so that, again, from where this angle stops, you pretty much want the height of the bottle or anything. I mean, you could be giving someone one of their water spray guns or something for their ironing, but you want it to sit that high. You might have homemade tomato sauce or red wine vinegar or something gorgeous to put inside. So you'll want the height of that bottle, and then allow yourself a little bit more because you want it to cover the top of the bottle and allow for perhaps a little bit of a gathering with a ribbon or something. But there you go. Now, so just remember, you can scale them up or down. If you wanted to do much smaller ones, you know, take them right down so that they are literally the size to stick a couple of Lindt chocolate balls in or something. Just the rules stay the same. Even if you took them down to half this so that they were 2.5. So like, so cute, so cute. Even if they were only 2.5, you would come in 1 1/4 to the centre, and then you'd measure 1 1/4 each side. You're still going to get the same result. Little ones are just gorgeous to have as well on a table, or perhaps to tie up with a little present in on a Christmas tree, or to put a jewellery present in, all those sorts of things. Just really nice. I love them just made up in the leftover Liberty scraps, and just put cloves and lavender and things in just to pop in the linen press or in the clothing, you know, drawers or something like that. Just those little bits of fabric that are left over. So I've got a lot of these to make, and because of the size and what they're for, I won't add any pallin or anything to them. So I'm going to get all of these done and then just chain sew. I finished chain sewing all of the wedges for my applique sampler sashing yesterday, so I'm now up to the next part of the assembly for you, as well as the 2 new blocks. So that's all done. Steve's been busy with the cutter. What was it? 180 fat 8s, 185 inch squares, 180. There's so much of it. So I hope that gets you on that bandwagon and thinking about different things. I'm going to show you a couple of other things. We're going to keep that in mind while we go. I could do these ones too. Got plenty of time. It's not until, yes, next Saturday. We've got plenty of time to get through it. I have a couple of people that have also asked me for a demo on just the demo on doing blossoms, cherry blossoms, tea tree, whatever they're going to be for you. So I've got my stuff here, but I do want to sit down and do that in a few minutes. So if you're watching it, I think they're all in the UK. When you're watching it, just whiz forward, it'll come up and I've got little teeny weeny red ones to do, but I will do that this afternoon as well. Now, what else have we done? So we finished off, let me give you a sneak peek. We finished off the gum leaf tote in the black. The kits are up. The pattern's up with the cream one still on the front, but these are now up as well, so you can grab one of those if you want to. I know some of you grabbed this very kindly, faith that Lisa would actually finish hers one day when we launched it originally, and we just had it laid out as a kit. So now the bag does exist. It is not an urban myth, and it's all done. So I'm really happy that's finished, because I'll wear this one. I wanted to show you this. I think I have. But just so you can see too, I quilted. Oh, you can't really see it, can you? That's annoying. That is really annoying. You can't see that. I went to town quilting this. I quilted around all of the gum leaf sprigs on here and on the back. It's actually really therapeutic. It's a great way to practice free motion quilting, because the design's all there. You're running over it, you know, and around it, free motion, but you just follow the gum leaf design. And then I did my little extended gold lines from my leaves and things. But I did put under the banner today, I just put it there so you can see it easily, single-sided adhesive. So that's what I used for this bag. So we've got complete sew-in rubber foam, single-sided and double-sided. Double-sided really is for the, not for the faint-hearted. It is just all about placemats and table runners. I'm using it in the castle ceiling table runners and things at the moment. It really is, you've got to be ready to stick everything together in one hit. But with bags, you really want the single-sided if you want adhesive, so that you can quilt the outer panels first and then add your lining in afterwards. So I marked it so you knew what I've used in mine. And I didn't get any kind of wrinkly effect or anything with it. This is all lifted off here fine, and I'm fine with that. Stevie, can I have a glass of water? I'd love a coffee. Upgrade me to coffee. Yes, they are on sale. This is another little thing we've done that's very cheeky. Steve's got his cutter. We've done, check these out like this, massive fat 1/8 packs of all of the flowering gums. Now, the thing with this is, there's naughty little things going on here, because I got my production samples, as you know, of the new black, the ivory that's coming back in stock, the green coming back in stock, the multi-red coming back in stock, and then also in here, he's put in the lilac, which is now out of print. I'm not sure if we're going back there, and if we do, it's going to be quite late this year. I wasn't going to go back. I told Natasha we weren't going back, but now it looks like we're going into a new big distributor in the States, so I will probably go back. But this pack has 14 fat 1/8 of every single flowering gum, and you can't get this one yet. This will be here sort of in June, as will this, and that's September. He's got 14, because I didn't let him have all of these two, because I'm using them to make new samples, of course, before the fabric arrives. So we've just done a limited set of those, and it works out to, you get 14 for the price of 12 fat 1/8. So fat 1/8 being 10 centimeters cut, and then it goes to 22 inches tall, because it's been cut on the fold of the bolt, or halfway across the width of the fabric. So we did those just because we could. And then there was a little bit left over. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Deb. Stevie, there's no banner up. Fiona, if we're wrong, we're in so much trouble. He's gone quiet. We'll give him a minute. He did these as well. If you can't see a banner, push refresh, and also you can put in the search window show 43. It'll come up, and I bet he's checking it. So then he had a bit left. So he just has, we have 3 precious little rolls. We're not allowed to call them jelly rolls now, aren't we? Moda did that. So it's a fabric roll. It's a gum roll, let's call it that. It's a gum roll of 3-inch strips of all of them as well. So if you want to add to the stash, you can put that in, and if you can add it there. If you are a Quilter's Life girl, it's up now. It's all magic, isn't it? If you are a Quilter's Life girl and you have not checked what I put up on Monday, you need to go and look, because I'll let the cat out of the bag. If you're a Quilter's Life member, you have 20% off everything on the website on a one-off purchase over $50 until midnight on Friday. So that means, I just put up previously before, that means that if you spend the $50, you're going to get $10 off. And if you get $10 off, that's the price of a monthly membership. So it's actually not costing you anything to join and get your discount. I think that, does that make sense? You know what I mean? You're going to save $10 and that's the price of your monthly, and it's a good time to join. So if you were ever going to join for a while, now's the time. Because when I'm finished that applique sampler next week, we are straight on to geisha, ready to go. So it's a really good time to join up, and you've got till midnight Friday to order and use your discount code at the checkout that you get when you are a member in there. I decided to be naughty and do the Telly Sally one-time offer thing this week. Right, so there's that one, and there's that one. And I was talking, hey, I'm missing fabric. Oh no. Oh no, it's not even up on the set. Thanks. It didn't go back. Now the girls will know, they'll know how close we were to the show in getting everything ready. Hey, I'm missing one more. I found it. Never mind me. Put that back up there. Yes. So we were having a little bit of a chat on Monday about on Quilter's Life. I just want to say AQL now. AQL. About dysfunctional fabric boxes. And when a box of fabric arrives, it doesn't mean that you open it up and there's this beautiful collection of fabric inside that all goes together, that you ordered at the same time. No. It just never works. So I had the most eclectic group, but we worked out where they all went and what they all went with. So that was fine. And I made a major discovery, which I'm going to tell you about. First of all, one of the key fabrics that did come in that goes with both of these beautiful panels is this one. So I was just so happy. Look at that. The jumper doesn't quite match, does it? But I was having a go at going the whole green teal thing. This is just stunning. And keep in mind, we've got that precious metals in the gold coming back in. That is going to look drop dead gorgeous with this, because it's got these beautiful big solid gold leaves. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm sorry, I'm trying to sell it to you. I don't have to, because I've sold it to myself. It's just lovely. So when that arrived, it was sort of, that's what's wrong. We were missing the peacock colour. Remember, we had a go, didn't we? We've got a lot that goes with it, but see, that goes with that. And it's in there. So I was very happy that came in. So immediately what Steve and I decided to do was some value packs where you've got a little bit of a saving, and we put together the two fabrics that we think work best with each panel. And I've got an idea on using these today, thanks to a couple of my AQL girls who both decided to head towards Asian screens, and they are absolutely right. Dead set, it's going to go. So we did these little packs. So you've got one of the panels, so you've got the 60 centimetres of panel in there, like the one that's on the wall, and then we popped it together with its matching friends. So this one's official friend is this lovely cream background with the peacock feathers on it, and also with this new one that's come in. Now if you've already got any of this, please let us know, because, you know, we were talking about what are we going to do for people that have got this. So let us know, and we can pop you know, a piece in the mail. If you have bought one of these panels, you qualify for the VIP treatment, and if you go, I just need a fat quarter or something just to finish off what I've got, then please contact us and we will do that for you, because I'm really annoyed is the term that we didn't get it earlier. So that's that one. And then on the other side with this one, we've done the same thing with the same new fabric, but we have popped the pale one here. Now if you do your maths, you'll see that this is there's actually quite a discount in buying it as a pack like this. This one, we've popped the black background with this, with the peacock feathers, to really make it pop. And this one as well. So that gives you a really nice little story, and quite a nice little kickstart if you want to do it as a panel, you know, through the window quilt that we've talked about before, to use the panels with. But you can see that just gorgeous, because we come down into black in the flowers on this one, so they work really well there. And then this one works over here. Now, the other thing, when, as you know, being an ex-Robert Kaufman girl from way back, now it's getting on, isn't it, since I was there, I always look at the selvages because it always interests me on the colour codes that they choose. I mean, I remember what all the colour codes were. You know, red was always number 91, orange is always number 163, black. So I sort of knew them, and I look at them now, and they're changing a lot at the moment because different people are running the design department, and you know, things evolve and stuff over time. So we couldn't work out what happened here in terms of colours, because to us this should have had the peacock feathers on a blue as well as the cream. I found it. This, look at this bolt. This is not me having a whinge or a bitch really, but this is a something went wrong. You can see the end of that bolt. I don't know if it's going to focus or not for you, but the word here, well, over here, is navy. Now, if you're at Robert Kaufman, navy, which I do it as well, navy, the colour code or the name always refers to the ground cover. So when you look at mine, all of my ivory in red, the word ivory comes first and it's colour 1. We sort of, everything comes through with us as 7. 7 is tonal blacks, and which is what the new flowering gum is. And then if the main background colour is black with features, it's colour 16, like the black gum leaves. If you have a look through, and black and red is 13. We sort of a little thing going. This says 12. Sorry, no, I'm 12. I use 12. Probably done it. This is 9, and it says navy. So I can pretty much 90% guarantee that this black background was supposed to be that navy in there, and it's not. It's black. So it's actually been a misprint. Now, I don't have a problem with that because I love this, and I've got plenty of things that we will use this for, but it solves the mystery for me. It should have been navy, and it's not. It's black, and it's definitely black because they use the ground screen as well for printing the selvage writing. So that mystery solved. We can now move on. And something's really weird here because this is blue and it's beautiful. It's the same as the teal, but it matches these. There was something really went wrong in the whole communication with their factory, but we'll be fine. Anyway, so now we've got really nice collections that go with these. The other thing that goes beautifully with these fabrics are these packs that we did very recently. Oh, this one matches my jumper. I just spread. Can you see those okay? Look at those with it. So that's that lovely little paint splash fat quarter packs. I'm really happy with those. They all go beautifully. All of those colours. You've got all those beautiful peacock colours in there, and the blue. Just just gorgeous. So, you know, we're starting to feel the love, and all of our friends are coming together with these. I was talking to a couple of girls about what they want. Bernadette, short mate, we'll catch you later. It's fine. I was talking to a couple of girls about what they wanted to do with their AQL discount and what they were going to do. And if two people actually said they were coming back and going to use Asian screens for completely different fabrics. And I looked at these and I went, ah. So we've got through the window that takes the full width of the full height width of the fabric, and that's all fine and well. Put this one up here. Look at those together. Stunning. I'm going to have to use them myself on something, I think. But look at this. I haven't got the quilt here. I don't even know where the quilt is. Flick's probably got the quilt. There you go. You see that? So these panels here are not, the height of these panels is not the full width of the bolt. So this pattern was designed sort of after Southern Jewels and after we were using Southern Jewels for oriental prints that run the full length of a bolt. That's what we were using those for. This one here, Robert Kaufman did a great panel years ago. You might remember it. They did a scene with geishas and it ran landscape across the bolt instead of vertical portrait across the bolt. Does that make sense? Like these. Yeah, they ran sideways and they were absolutely gorgeous. I was going to have a go at doing one for Summer Palace. Chickened out. I just went, no, it's too much space to fill. I still need to have a go at doing one at some stage, but not at the moment. So this was designed for this one that they did because I only had a height of 24 centimetres to work with a panel. I think I actually designed it for them, you know, to launch at one of the trade shows in America or something, instead of the full kind of 42 inch high. So that if you have a look at these guys, so the pattern says feature fabric, you need to cut a length of 23 high. So it's only 23 inches high, and then you cut it across into different widths. So on this, these guys here, these are all cut to 23, so they're 22 high, and then you can see what happens is you cut into it across the width. So if we do that, these, you can see these are broken down. Remember we talked about how they're really lovely because you can use the whole thing, or you can cut them down and break them down and use them for different things. That's my 24-inch ruler. So if I sit the bottom on 23, I can see that I can easily get my whole peacock into that height. So that means I could actually use this pattern really effectively with this design. So the digital download pattern's actually on special today for this, so you can just grab it. It's usually 12, I've marked it down to 9. So you can buy it, it'll download, you can print it, and you've got it to work with straight away, with whatever you've got. So I love this because I'm going to be able to use this. Now, as I said, it tells you then to go through and cut. So obviously I haven't got as much. So the pattern does state to buy 1.2 meters of this, or 2 panels, and then you can go through and cut it. Now what, I think it's lovely, just in case. So what I actually want to do though, I want to get my peacock in, and I will get it in. I've got someone I want to make this for. So the main one, 17, is that right? Oh, how perfect is that? Hang on, which one's D? That's D down there, 17. Oh, it's perfect. One is 17 wide, the big ones in the pattern, and one is 15.5. It's made for it. It's absolutely made for it. I can't believe it. So I'm going to use those, but also have a look at this bit. Over here, see these narrower ones here? Now, I had a look at the pattern, and that one is, and I'm saying, I know what you're saying, Lisa, it's your pattern, but it was a while ago. 19 and a half. I've got to cut this 9 and a half. So that's 9 inches finished. What I'm thinking of doing is not using the peacock print all the way across. I'll use whatever's left around it into some of the smaller blocks that are around, sort of around the panels and things. So there's a lot of little ones, So I can take my peacock for the top up here and my peacock for the one down the bottom and use those. They'll look gorgeous. And then I can use some of the rest of it for the little squares that are around. But for these narrow ones, I want to do something else. I thought I really wanted to hone in on the whole 1920s kind of feel, and I went fans. It's got to be fans. It's got to be fans. So what about if we take yeah, Petra, there is, oh no, there wasn't one. I wish there was a border printed fabric for the, yeah, I know, they didn't, I know, you're frustrating me too. What would happen though is, Petra, I suppose if you bought 3 or 4, for argument's sake, say, so it'd be 2.4 meters, Steve would cut this all in one length, like we cut them to order. So if you buy a pre-cut pack, sorry, I'll change that. If you buy a pre-cut pack, they are pre-cut, so they come like that. But if you were to buy 4 panels, 2.4 meters, you'd get it in one length, and then you would have that as a 2.4 meter length to cut a full length of. So we've had one in the past, or it must be a while ago now, that had this breakdown. Was it Valley of the Kings or one of, I can't remember now, one of those. And people were cutting that whole bit off as a length first, and then they were using the middle for a stack and whack. So, you know, that's, I suppose that's the only thing that we've got out of all of that. So if you look at this, so what I'm thinking, right. So we're going to have our peacock on one side. Then there'll be sashing in between. I'm guessing mine's going to be black. And have a look at this. I grabbed ombre QV, and what I want to do is use what's left over, or these little bits down here, to make some pointed Dresden fans to put onto this background. So I'll have my peacock, a little bit of sashing, and then this ombre fabric here. And then I'm going to make little fans in the pointed Dresdens. So I grabbed the designer block wedge, and as a good girl, I put it on special. Stevie Weavy. Oh, I'm sorry I said that live on Facebook. If I've got the camera off, can you grab the ladder out of the office that never got brought in and just whack that top camera on for me? God, I'm dead. That's like calling Philly McGilly live on Facebook. Just did it again. See? Now I'll know if he's watching or not. So if you go that way and just hop up there and turn that camera on for me. So, chop. I would chop this bit off. I have to be pretty frugal because I've got to allow room for my peacocks up here. How'd you go? Perfecto. You know what? They can see I've got my jeans on, but that's all fine. Thanks, Steve. Mm-hmm. Tech on set. Right. You're right, Petra. You're absolutely right. I would love, you know what I'd love? Shall we just design fabric while we're here? It's one of those days, isn't it? I would love this happening with this different all gold designs over the top. All those in favour say aye, and that will be 2,500 yards of fabric ordered, and it will take me a while to do it all. Okay. So can you now see I've got my jeans on because we haven't seen the camera, and I've got bare feet. There you go. It's a no-frills show. Hey, and no picking on the feet, okay? I'm flat-footed and I've been in shoes all morning. Your childhood nickname, Fiona. Well, Phil, I don't know how Philly got Philly McGilly, but I remember saying to him when he was about 16, it's a good pickup line with the girls, Phil. You know, you say that your nickname's Sweet Chili Philly, because it means you're sweet and you're hot. And he was like, oh, Mum, what did he have printed on the back of his Year 12 hoodie? Yes, exactly. Sweet Chili Philly. Okay, so now I've got this bit cut. Do you remember these? These go with our designer block packs, which Steve also knit ivory flowering gum for. Honestly, there'll be nothing left for packs or for quilts for me. So there's some of those back up on the website. That's the only place you can get the ivory at the moment. What you can see what I'm trying to do. I want to come through here and fussy cut in a way, or position these so I get this really lovely design, so that I'm going to get a bit of a kaleidoscope happening. What you've got to remember with this as well, it does include your seam allowance. So I was up here, but I'm going to come right down to the line so I get the most off this. Is that camera flickering? You've got to be kidding me. I've had that on for hours. I'm going to go back to the main tech man about that. All right, so let's just cut a couple of these. I'm going to cut right through. And I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to turn it round. Usually what I do, and if you've got one of the designer block packs, you know with the instructions, it'll actually tell you to cut down your strip to the actual height. Let's just do that, because that would be sensible. They are 5, so I'll just chop this down. There we go. Oh, how about, look, I've just mixed the plastic. So this one's now mine. That's all fine. The wrapper can come off. All right, so now it is exactly the right height, so this is going to be a lot easier. Most of the time, you know, if you're using something like the flowering gum that's non-directional, you can just dovetail like that, but I'm actually going to come through and cut the same part each time, just so we can have a look. So the Dresden itself, you know, if you get one of these, you've got 20 in it, but there's 20 wedges, but because I want to create a fan, I'm only going to probably work with 5. Odd number, really important, so it'd be 5 or 7. And based on the width of that panel, I think that we'll probably run at, we'll have a go with 5. So I just want to show you sort of how this, you know, it's all about putting together a big jigsaw puzzle of all the things you've got, you know, in your stash, in your arsenal. So if you've got the Asian screens pattern, or perhaps a similar one that you can pop them into, if you've got one of these Dresden wedges, you can pull it out any time and use it to create dovetailed sashing like the girls are doing in the Applique sampler. You can use it to make a really pretty little stack and wax, because you don't actually have to run it as the pointed Dresden. You can run it just in this shape. So if you wanted to, you can just do this and put them together in this beautiful big kaleidoscope pattern. Okay, let's just have a quick sit down, and I'll show you, if you haven't done these before, how they work. When you are, as I mentioned, when you are working out fussy cutting, let me pull this bit down and show you. Look at this gorgeous bit. When you are pulling it down and having a little bit of a go, just remember that you've got to allow 1/4 of an inch at the top for your seam allowance. So, you know, this piece here, if I was to do this one and pop it up, I'm going to lose 1/4 here at the top. what I'm more inclined to do with this, because it is going to hit up here, I probably will bring it down to, be quite conscious about where I bring it down to. So I might actually bring it down to those little points there, and then it will just sit on the point. I think it will still look really good. The other thing you could do is actually cut these shapes out, maybe sort of like an oval shape, and do them as raw edge applique, and you blanket stitch them on, because then you're going to get this whole effect. And you could actually layer that over the top of these if you wanted to. There's endless possibilities to do it with. What have we got in here? A thin ball. We probably want, we go a bit of blue. We got a bit of blue. We need glasses. And we need a needle. So for this particular job, I would say a piecing needle. Well, we are piecing, aren't we? Rather than a soft applique needle. Hey, Steve-o, how are we off for masterpiece boxes at the moment? Have we got a few?
Masterpiece box.
These ones, the super bobs.
Yeah, we should.
I just want to make sure we've got enough to take down to the soiree.
Yeah.
We good?
4 or 5 of these.
Alright, we might get some more before next weekend.
Yeah.
Just such a handy thing to have for when you're out and about sewing as well. Oh my, look, my babies, one of my babies is sitting here for the soiree. Still sitting here because we're unpacking the rest of the kits tomorrow. Alright, so with these, to make them into a pointed Dresden, really simple to do. You want to mark, if you're doing these by hand, which I am, you'll want to mark a 1/4 inch. If you're doing them by machine, then you can use your 1/4 inch foot. So just mark that there, fold in half, and I usually start at the folded edge because I want a really nice sharp point. I love doing these by hand. I don't know why. So just a little stitch. This is going to get me one done so I can show you how it's done. Then I will be honest, I will do a few more on the machine. You know, with the, suppose it really doesn't matter how tall your wedges are. The angle stays the same. So maybe we could use this other piece here. Right, done. That's it. Straight across there, snip. Then just chop a bit on that corner. One little trick to get a nice point with these, open up your, bit noisy Steve-o, it's cutting on the mic. You've got to open up that seam and then fold like that. You'll probably want to do a little bit of a poke and a prod with something up into the middle. There you go, that's it. So I will take care as I do these to make sure I get that little bit of gold right up into the point. And then we'll just hit it with an iron. I've got a couple of layers of fabric here, so let's just be naughty. You've got to also make sure that you make sure that this is centered across. You don't want a lopsided wedge. Look at that. So you can imagine now, if I go and do all of these and get myself a beautiful little kaleidoscope fan going on, then I can come back and actually put them up on that panel. So if I pop this back up, we want, where did I put it? Back over here. I put it somewhere down here. So I can have my peacock. I'm seriously thinking it's going to be black in between. So I'll have that there. And then just, it's going to be quite subtle, but I'm just going to have these little fans. So I'll do a little one that sits this way, and then I'll have one that sits that way, and then one back this way. And as they go down, they're going to become more predominant because of the ombre underneath. So, I know, you know how many unfinished projects I have, but I really, really want to do this one. What do we think? Do we think this is going to work? So if I, hey, it is. It's still going to work. I'm just going to have a shorter fan. So if I can't go from that end, it's not going to work. You've got to go from this end. Right, now what did we say? We're going to lose, maybe I can just push down just a little bit less. Maybe if we just do 1/8 of an inch over. Let's just have a look. So I'd actually sew, I'd mark not 1/4 inch, but 1/8 of an inch. And then we'll just cheat, hey? We'll just fold this in and have a look and see what happens. Oh, ho, ho. Look, that works. I'm just going to put that out there. Look at it over the top of that. Isn't that fun? I mean, I'm just messing around now, but we can have big ones and maybe we'll have some little ones as well. And maybe the little ones, you know, I might be able to do a smaller one. I think some of the little blocks are, some of the smaller blocks come down to 5 by 6 inch square. So maybe some of the smaller ones, or one of the smaller ones I can do as a feature, and you know, where we come through and use another bit from another area, we can come through and lay a little fan over it. So we've got 2 bits to use. I've got this big bit we're working on at the bottom, but there's another whole section up the top that's got. So what happens up this end? Yeah, see, look at all those up there. So we can use those up there as well. And maybe the wedge actually comes down over all of that. So the base of our fan's going to be the stripes. That's going to work really well. Okay. So I just, you know, and I jokingly put up that today's colour therapy day. It's all about my colour therapy. So I think this one, what's this one? The QV, I had a look through. I think that is the best choice for this one. And then for the dark one, if you love the dark one, which is, you know, the main thing about the dark one is if you're a purple lover, your purple comes into this one. And I had a look through, and I found, I mean, this is what, you know, this is one of my 2 favourites. This is very affectionately called 307, to me, periwinkle. But I love that one because when it gets to the bottom, the colour actually matches the ground on the panel. So you can imagine if we actually went through and cut our fans from this and overlaid them onto this, they will be stark and stand out up this end, but blend towards the bottom. So it's actually going to be the reverse, of course, of the light one. So I've completely trashed the stand. All right. Now, in terms of heavens, look at this. Applique Essential Packs. The moment that I started doing this again today, I went, ow, fans. Because all the way through that we've been doing these, I've been thinking about having lovely packs to pull from the stash for flowers, for leaves, English paper piecing, whatever, to match all of the other feature prints and things that you've actually got in your stash. But if I really stop and think about it properly, all of these, I mean, a pack like this, to do a whole series of fans, and of course you can use your template this way, or like we've just done, you could have shorter ones out of these and have this whole colour wash effect going on. Would be beautiful, aside of just making, you know, a whole Dresden out of them. So the teal ones, I've just pulled them out again today to show you, because they work beautifully across both of these. And if you've got one of these in your stash, yes, that fabric will go with it. I've got more on this side as well. The periwinkle, I think it's called periwinkle blue. True blue and periwinkle blue pack goes with both of these. And in this one's got that little bit of that paint splash in that fat quarter pack in this one as well. And you've got a little bit of your gorgeous fairy frost in periwinkle down this end, and all of these lovely, just beautiful blue purples. So that pack's going to work across there. It was just a double check for my own benefit. The purple pack we've recut, and that's, well, we've got new stock. We didn't quite run out, but we've got more. So that works in there really well with all of the colours. So I was happy with that. And then I remembered we were supposed to do a new pack. So this, and I'm really miffed that camera's not working. I'll have to show it to you here. I just didn't turn it on early enough. I think it's one of those, what do they call them? Is it called a vampire, is it a vampire device? It's a vampire device. Or it sucks the energy out when you're not looking at night time. Is that what they call it? I think it is. Something's going on up there. So we've got, that's your dusky pink, and that's the purple. Now I wanted something that sits here, because this didn't take me through to pink lilacs and this didn't take me through to hot pinks. So I've created this pack. So I'm hoping you can see that, if I get it around the right way. Here we go. So this is my little train, okay? So there's our dusky pink pack from Pale, and it comes all the way through to that shadow play, and then we jump trains and we hop on here to the beautiful garnet Northcote shimmer with a gold speckle, and then we go through all our lovely hot pinks in shadow plays, Northcote, Robert Kaufman. Again, we've knit a little bit of the outer print lilac and popped it in there because it needs to go somewhere and be loved. So that takes me through down to these purples here, and then now go that way, and then it follows through into the lavender fairy frosts and all the way down. So now I've covered us from that real sort of periwinkle blue purple colour here all the way through to there. So this is the bridge. This is the bridge in between these two packs. And that just makes me happy on the inside. That is my colour therapy, because I can keep going now. When we get to the end of this pack, it joins onto that one. So you just get that whole effect. When we get down here, where do we go from there? I think we almost go round again, but we sort of from there, you'll head down into your teals. Oh no, we'll go true blue first. You go through to the blue, and at the end of the true blue pack, you hop onto the teal. And then the teal takes you through to the light and dark green. So I've nearly got our whole colour wheel done. And then this is 2 gold packs. They take you through to a cream. Anyway, I'm getting us there, so we've got the whole thing. I haven't done a brown tan yet. That's missing on the end. And that goes, oh, boring. But no, we need it for stems and gum nuts and all those sorts of things. So put that aside. Now, I wanted to, there's another thing I want to try with this with you, but I will just show you first all the new stuff on this side. And again, I had a bit of a giggle with the girls on Monday because somebody was late to the party. So we got all that gorgeous Sally Kelly in, and we did all the pre-cuts, and we talked about it, and we did all of that. We made a tech tote, and then someone arrived late, very, very late to the party. So we had this one. Yeah, great. But its dark, mysterious sister arrived. So now we have this one. So just, there you go. I know. Late, very, very late to the party. So we've still got a fair few of, I don't know what a fair few is, 4 or 5 of the pre-cut packs of all the beautiful small prints in Sally Kelly. I decided not to pull them all out today. I've actually tagged them for today's show, but I thought, yeah, we don't need to get all that out. I went looking for other things that would actually go with it. I wanted, more stuff that will go. And what did I miss? I sounds like, I'd love to learn how to make clothes. Yes, Fiona. Oh, hang on. You're all here and I'm not paying attention to you. Afternoon, Lisa. Just a bit late. I know, been enjoying the lovely weather. Catherine, a bit of rarity. Sounds like fun learning with clothes. Jane said, oh, absolutely. Well, we love playing with fabric. Gold on all dark ombres, please. Yes, 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 and yes. Totally, Liz. That's it. You're funny. Oh. Okay. So I went looking for other things that would go with it. I actually found some that we already had, and then there were a couple of new ones that came in. So this is a new baby. And this is where the fun starts because there's so many colours in this print. This is a new one from Benetix. This comes in 3 different colours. And it's just a beautiful little tonal scroll. I'm not sure if you can see or not, but it's got a whisper, just a whisper of little gold metallic dots. So it's not full on at all because you get closer. You can just see them. And with that in mind, this is really good. Because you've got this colour in here. Actually, you've got both. The dark is the vine and the light is here. So if you were looking for something to line a bag or something with, or sashing or something with these, that's going to work. Now, and all its friends work. It all goes. So if you, Stevie, what did you say about the Sally Kelly? We were going to do something nice for the girls, weren't we? If they've already got it. If they've already ordered. If you've already ordered some Sally Kelly. Oh, you're going to send them an email?
Yeah.
Oh, he's sending you an email. If you've bought Sally Kelly, sit tight because Steve's sending you an email.
The pre-cut.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, not today.
I'm just thinking about comboing it with the girls doing AQL. So we're going to send you an email in the next 24 hours about this and how we can do this for you if you just want to add half a metre or a fat quarter to what you've already purchased. We're going to do a special postage thing for them, aren't we?
Well,
I'm making it up as I go now, aren't I?
yeah, you are. Please look out for an email.
Please look
in
out
the next
for an email.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing for the next 12 minutes? Walking away. He's walking away. He's backing away from the door because I said something that I shouldn't have said. But yes, we will get something to you because we feel really bad if you've bought the others. We don't want to have, we want to look after you, so you can add that into the collection. In that little vine, there's this gorgeous one here as well. So this one's a little bit darker. This one's a little bit more sage. So there's that one there. And then we hit some other gorgeous things. So look at this. Look. How regal is that? That is just beautiful. I haven't even got to pre-cut packs yet. Really just unpacked it. We will get to those, but I just thought, no, I'm going to show it to you first. The quality of the gold is absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really impressed. I can only assume it's coming out of the same factory as mine, and if not, it's from the other one in Osaka down the road. Because there's only 2 that can do that. And that one's really amazing. Then So this is, I love these fabrics because they're not red, they're not orange, they're not ochre, they just sit in the middle. It's just slightly less kilter, and I love it when we can just go a little bit, just a little bit left field, perhaps with a Christmas theme or something. Now, I showed you this one last week. So you can see what I mean. It is Christmassy almost, but it's not. It's autumn, but it's not full-on traditional autumn. So it just sits a little bit to the left or to the right. And look at this baby. Look at that. Oh, just scrummy. I'm a sucker for an autumn leaf print. I never buy the whole range. I pick the eyes out of it. I had to have that, and it was, I'm going to tell you. So the Garfield haul, not sure where the colour theme came from. Oh, saffron, Catherine, yeah, I'll pay that. Not sure who picked the colour theme, but it is, it's a beautiful little haul. And it's got this, I've chosen to ignore it. I decided not to try and join the party. With the colour, I went, no, we're just going to ignore the colour up top because it's autumn. I thought, we could do an autumn thing. But it is, I couldn't describe the colour. It's this red. And I said to Margaret, I'm never going to be able to match it. I'm just going to ignore it. And we're going the whole black silver, mirror thing, what we're doing. And then this arrived Monday after I looked at those walls all week and I went, I can't believe it. But it is, this is just beautiful. And the fact that the black's there, underneath. This scroll comes in black as well. There you go. So you could put, they would be happy together. They would be very, very happy to play together. And just to, complete the whole look, there's the scroll as well in the same. And this is the fun bit. The fun bit and the weird bit about matching colours, different companies. But how weird for me, they all arrived together. Just, actually, did they or not? No, these arrived together and this arrived this week. But they sat together beautifully and they behaved beautifully together. So I can see all of this working. If you're coming to the soiree, I will pack these. We have, how much can you fit in? How much can you fit in a car and a ute? How much can we fit on our stand at the soiree? How much? These I will bring. If I don't bring the whole bolts, I'll bring pre-cuts of them. And I will also have samples of our fabrics coming in, and you'll be able to pre-order those there too and see them in person, like the black and pink Melbourne. And the silver floral and things as well. So they're all up there. They're all super duper. And I'm really, I'm happy now. I've found all their friends and they can play nicely together on the wall. Hello, Robin in Queensland. Lovely to see you. Hi, Vic. How are you? Marie Evans asked me today, what do I bring for the soiree in the term of needles? And what did I say? I said piecing and embroidery. So if you've got a little pack, one each of those. But if you get to the soiree and you haven't got something, we'll have it all there for you to borrow or loan or buy, or all of it will be there. Oh, grey applique essential packs. I'm so sorry. That took us a long time to get those restocked. I think we were missing one. So they're all redone as well. All cut, all done. So the other thing that I was just going to mention about using these wedges, had another idea. If you wanted to have a go at needle turn or pre-shaping and you haven't done it before, one of the lovely things to do, like I was talking about using a design to quilt around, is you can actually use the edge of a motif or something. So it's sort of, one of better, it's like embroidery purse. So you're actually cutting out a motif from the fabric and appliquing that onto something else, as opposed to using a template for a leaf shape or something. So I sort of thought about this fan thing. what about if we got a little bit of a combo going of a pieced fan but with needle turn as opposed to doing the point? So that's what I want to show you. And I've just pulled out this one to use today. And I've put them on special, as I like to do with my stuff if we're doing something. These fans go with silver fans. They also go with the new one coming. I'm not letting Steve steal that for any pre-cut pack. And then that's the border that goes with it as well, if you haven't seen that before. Oh, and this one's new. Look at this. So this will go with all of the pink and teal with silver metallic Melba. And it also goes with Summer Palace in the silver. So they're yummy. And stock alert, this is our last ever bolt of blue Summer Palace dragons. So that will never go wholesale anywhere else or anything. This is it for us. I've stashed my bit. I'm just checking what's on it. 4 meters left. So if you had planned something to do sometime later this year, please grab it now because it's nearly all gone. And I just wanted to show you how gorgeous the plain silver looks with it. So, you know, if you really want to go to town, doing this combo together is similar to what I do with the teal, with the jade ones, with the jade dragons, with the gold version of this, which we'll do again when it's back in next week. So you see what I mean? Just jumping all over the place. There's just stuff going on everywhere. Right, now let me show you what I was talking about. I'm so sorry about that overhead camera. Well, Robert, it's the pain of Rob's life. I think I just didn't have it on long enough and it's drained. Okay, I'm sorry you're going to be working upside down, but hear me out. Hear me out. Actually, maybe I can turn. I'm trying to resist chopping a big chunk off, but I might need to. All of the fans, at some point on the fans, have a curve. So my theory was, I can do that. Now, what's going to happen is, I want to make sure that I choose a spot, or I could actually go there. Choose a spot where I've got a curve at the top of the motif, like that. And I want to make sure that I have it in the same place each time I hit this particular shaped fan. So I think, oh, girls, look, from memory, I think in a repeat, we get at least 2 of each. I need to do that maths in a hurry, don't I? So I need to mark my template there and there, and then maybe just a little mark down here. So I'm picking up where the curve hits the edge of my template here and here, and just a little bit of my lotus flower down here. Now I am working in pen so that you can see what I'm doing. Normally, of course, I wouldn't. Well, maybe when no one's watching I would. Okay, then here comes the rain. Wow, and the wind. Any minute now there'll be a cat flying through the window if she's not already inside asleep somewhere. Okay, so I've now got this. So let's do it again. One more. I reckon I can turn. Yeah, there he is again on the other side. Right. So we grab the template again, line it up. There's 2 ways of doing this, of course. I can lay this over the top and make sure. But if I bring this down and sit it there, and I'll double check, that's the same spot. So we do the same thing again. Oh no, I've gone off kilter. Hang on. Oh, I moved. There we go. Is the door down, Steve? Okay, and we'll cut this one out again. Right. There we go. So now I've got two the same. So what I'm thinking is, if we piece these together, see what's going to happen. We're going to get a fussy cut fan, and I'm going to use the edge of the design as my spot to needle turn. I love these. I do love these fans, and I think it's more to do with where I was when I was designing them and where I took my inspiration for them from. But they have been just so much fun for me in terms of using them to design different things. And when people say, what do I do with them? Well, you can do anything with them. You can use them for embroidery purse, you can use them for a stack and whack, you can just use them as great big panels. They can be used in many different ways. I mean, they've been used for beds and bed head covers in Texas a lot. I've got an interior designer that buys them and uses them a lot to decorate with oriental themes. I've seen them used for padded helmet stuff with the rest of the range, but they've just been really, really good fun to play with and break down and use as individual elements instead of just one big pattern. Holy moly, who lives near me, because it's just gone nuts out there. Yeah, you can hear it, Catherine, I know. Hello Lois, how are you this afternoon? Yeah, Robin, it is a shame that you cannot come. It is a shame, but it's a long way, isn't it, for a couple of days. But I'm just going to draw that line in again and grab a couple of pins. A lot of people have asked me about the soiree projects. If we still have stock left at the end of our soiree events this year, then they will be made available, and we'll take it from there. Natasha's bugging me for them in the UK. Christine Davies, give it 2 minutes. It'll be at your place. And Christine's 5 from me. Alright, so I'm just going to do... No, that's not right, is it? We need to go from here. So where I'm going to start sewing from is actually where the curve finishes on this side. Just go down this way. You realise you're just indulging me today in trying something out. Just trying it out, and if it works, well, we'll all have to go off and do it. You could use these, the template, of course, you could use this as it is, just a bulk cut with a rotary cutter, and then you could come back, you know, the way I do with the, you know, not with this particular coffee because it'd make a mess, but just use a cup or a teacup or a plate or something to draw in a curve around the top later. So you could just cut a whole heap out and then use it as a classic Dresden plate wedge and add your own curve into the top. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, but we're using the actual edge of the curve of the fan. And as I said, all those fans have got a curve. One of them has an inverted curve, so that would just be a little bit different again, and you would just have to clip into your curves before you started needle turning or pre-shaping. I love the fact I can sit here now and talk about needle turn, pre-shaping with polyfuse, sandpaper, freezer paper, reverse applique, and I have got 180 girls out there doing the applique sampler that know exactly what I'm talking about, which is just nice. There you go. So a quick sew down there. You know me, that would have been done by machine. So now I think we should open this seam out. So where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Oh look, we'll just grab a bolt. Doesn't have to be an ironing board, does it? Can't we just grab a bolt? There we go. Actually, you know what's going to happen. So pretty on top of there. Oh, very subtle. Let's just open this seam out. Because I need to be able to get down into the point on each one. Now, of course, we could stay here all afternoon and keep playing, but we won't. But let's just see how this goes. Yeah, look, this is going to be good. I'm going to trim this down now, and this is great. So because we only started from where the point is, we can get right down into that. We're going to be able to get right down into that V, and I don't have to nick into it because the gap already exists because we started the seam right on the edge of the curve. What's that? I know what you're going to say. All right, Lisa, what are you going to applique it onto? I don't know. I don't know. What should we put it on? Should we put on a bit of fan? What do you think? It's going to have the contrast is going to be too subtle. No, we're not that one. No, 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 no. 2 ticks. I will just grab. What do we put it on? Maybe. I know. 2 ticks. We'll grab a bit. It belongs on Shadow Play W2. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful soft cream, and we use this lots and lots and lots. I think someone doing the applique sampler might be on this. See, look. It's just perfect for the background. I think Steve's in the garage doing whatever blokes do in garages. When he gets back, I will get him to put this under the banner as well. It's just a gorgeous colour. You know, it's not plain, it's not cream, it's got a little bit of marble to it. I'm not doing the lateral thinking, am I? I'm just not lateral thinking. Okay, so Asian screens. Fan print, and come back and do what I'm doing now for fans in here. So instead of doing on the ombre with the pointed fan, I can do it on the cream with the fans, which depending on which colour I picked. With the blue sashing, yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we'll just cut a little bit of this. Hey Steve, can you please put Shadow Play W2 under the tag for the girls? Yeah. And gents? Didn't check who was here today. Alright, so I want you just to imagine you've actually got 5 or 7 wedges going on here. We haven't discussed what's going to happen at the bottom. With the pointed Dresden, you know, you can put a little base. No, it says W2 on the thingy here. We haven't talked bases on, you know, you can do with the pointed one, the instructions that tells you how to do the point at the top and the bottom. For me with this one, I'll probably come through and actually put a fan base on. You know, these wedges are only going to end up that wide. If you're an applique sampler, you've got your Melba fan to refer to on how to do that. So And that's, look at them, they're going to be good. Right, so what we need to do though is just talk about needle turning these on. And lots of ways that you can get your fan onto your block. You can use a little bit of fabric glue, you can use pins, you can tack it on. So that I can do this nice and fast for you, I'm just going to use some pins. Oh, jeepers. I'd better set a good example here, which is not mixing. Do not mix your your applique pins with your big pins. They get lost. Most of mine live in a beautiful little frosted china dish that my late mother-in-law was, for all intents and purposes, she was a china painter, so it was probably destined to have flowers popped over the top, but she stopped china painting before she decorated it, but I still absolutely love it. Now please keep in mind that I'm a lefty, so I'm actually starting from this side, so I work across this way. Kind of works for you in reverse watching me, but if you're right-handed, you're going to go that way. A lot of times I feel so bad if I see girls that have been watching me and they've actually got their right hand and they're trying to go backwards across. So you always go that way, or you're going to go that way. If you are left-handed and you do like watching people that are left-handed, hello Janine, just remember that Alex Anderson is left-handed too. Good morning, Donna. How are you? I missed Natasha's show last night. I came in on the end. I have to go back and watch it. Alex is lefty too. So, you know, I love watching her videos on some of her older ones on quilting and things because she's left-handed, so it works for me. So I'm going to pick up my work. I'm going to use my needle. Now, two different types of needles. So we've been using a piecing needle, and now I've moved myself onto an applique needle. So an applique needle has got give in it. It's finer, and I thought I brought them in. But an applique needle has got some give because you're going to use it as a tool to manipulate your work. A piecing needle is super strong and really good for, you know, sort of pushing through a whole heap of fabric when you're piecing a seam. So I'll pick up my needle. I'm going to use my needle to fold under that seam allowance, and I want to end up with the fold right on the edge of that silver that's on the print. So this, if we can get this going between us, we're going to have this method that's sort of a whole combo of different things. It's going to be fussy cut, paste, embroidery pursed. That is quite a little repertoire. So remember, the main thing about a really good invisible needle turn or slip stitch, just fold this next bit under like that, so it's sitting right on the curve, okay, is to take your needle down. Once it's up on the fold, go straight back down underneath into the fabric and travel along underneath and come up on the fold again. You don't travel a lot, you don't travel anywhere on the top of your work. It's all underneath. So this is now up. Let's sit back a bit. This is now up on the fold. We're going to pop our needle in underneath and go along and travel there. So you can start to see that the curve is going to sit underneath there. All of my stitching's on the back. So this to actually fussy cut, pre-shape, and then needle turn on is going to be lovely. I think it's going to work, girls. I think this is something we're going to have to play with. If you are not a needle turner and you want to do it by machine, of course, you can cut it out right on that curve, right on the curve, and then use some Vlisafix or steamer seam to actually adhere it onto your background and then blanket stitch it on. And if you want the metallics, we do have them. So Metla metallic threads on the website. There is a really nice silver, and if you're working with the gold, there's a really nice gold as well. I think what I love about this, there's going to be minimal preparation. I'm not going to have to draw in the curves or anything. They're all going to be there for me. And I think, look how nice and thick that edge is going to be in the silver. And then you can see you're going to get this kaleidoscope effect because I'm going to also be cutting from the same section. So we're going to get this lovely kaleidoscope effect. Plus I've also got the same shape and depth curves on the top because they're all from the same part of the fan. If we just go back and have a look at the fans again, Steve-O, he's not answering now, he can't hear me. I just want to go and get one of the other colours as well. So if we look at these, we've got lots of different shaped fans here to cut from. So this one here, you can see here, if I get the wedge and put it over, I've got this beautiful soft curve on this one, but what I could also do is angle it a bit. So it's a little bit thicker here, so I could angle, and I'm going to get a lovely big bit of magnolia in the middle of each one. Throwing it to the wind, if I really wanted a strong curve off this one, look, I could actually come down here and pull off that curve, and this is going to be so interesting because I'm going to get this little scallopy shell bit, and it's going to sit on one side of each of the ones that go around, so that's going to be a really interesting effect. The round ones that I did, well, that's a no-brainer, and I can sit my wedge anywhere, so I can, well, that one's a bit chopped off. Let's go down a bit. Let me find you another one. Here we go. So with this, turn it around. With this one, we can play it safe, and we can just come straight up to the top, get a whole lot of my bonsai in and my pot down the bottom, or I could angle it off anywhere on these and it will work. This is the one that I was talking about that's quite a different shape, very traditional Chinese fan shape, but with this one we're going to come off perhaps here so that I've got the inverted curve happening, so I can do that on that side. Oh yes, or I can do it on this side, and I can pick up these really dramatic big circles over here. So there's a few good options here. See that? I think that's where I'm going to sit mine there. So I've got that little bit of the flower coming in, and I'm going to pick up my curve. Then this would be a really good one to start with if you haven't done a lot of needle turn before, because the curve on it is not as strong, as that's slightly flattened out compared to the one that I'm doing at the moment. And look at that, you could just come up here, take that bit there, get a nice big chunk, we'll come around a bit, get a nice big chunk of that pot, and you've got this nice slight curve on that one. And then finally, I think this one, this has always been my favourite fan, this one up here, and that's got a lovely curve, so I can have a less, I can't even say it today, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. This curve here is flatter than this bit round this side, so this one's going to give me a flatter curve, but if I angle that way, I'm going to get a stronger curve where it comes around the corner and get all these cherry blossoms in. Let me just grab you one of the others, because they're right up this end. So just as another example, this is it in the red. So if you have a look at this one, and of course in between all the motifs you've got all these other colours, you've got so much else going on, so you've got all of this red to use. So I suppose particularly with this one and the black one that have got that really strong contrast to the background, the cream one's very subtle, you could take your fans off here, and then for the base of the fan you can come through and use this red area. So you can make your base of your fan with this in between, or embellish or anything you want. This one and the black and the dark blue. Anyway, I've popped them on special today. Steve and I have not got our Textile Pantry website up and running yet, because you've been keeping us very busy and we've been busy too. So, and also, we've got a lot of delays with shipping, and I rejected one of my print runs. Oh, and it did arrive and it's now perfect. So we've put that back a bit, but that also means that I can keep offering you specials on my fabrics a little bit longer, and probably till it's probably about 3 weeks, and then there will be no more of those naughty things going on. Definitely. Now, one more thing, and then I'm going to go, and you can, if you've done your Suffolk Puff Cherry Blossoms before, then you don't need to see this bit. But I did promise a couple of girls that I would do them. I've got thread and everything going on everywhere here. These are little ones. And if you're going, no problems, Jeanette. If you've done larger ones of these before, and you may or may not be in the applique sampler, she says, putting her glasses on, you'll go, I need to do those here. Well, if you're in the applique sampler, you're going to have to do them to finish off your last block with a template this big. We're going small, and these are now going to represent tea tree flowers on the final block that's got flannel flowers and little tea tree flowers on it. Been a lot of chat about I have not put wattle in the quilt. There will be wattle options in the quilt, but it comes right at the end, right at the end, and we're going to have a bit of fun with those. But I'll show you this. So I made a template out of sandpaper. So this is how I do these if you haven't seen it before, and I'd like to think you all have, but I want to do a teeny weeny one for you. So and you can see that they're all on the YouTube channel as well, in different spots on the Lisa channel one. So this is my little bit of sandpaper, and I drew that on to the back of my fabric, and I cut it out with a generous 1/4 inch seam. Applique sampler girls who have been waiting on the Never 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 since February, and we are slowly now getting there because the fabric's all in. We were short a couple of bolts, so we picked those up this morning, and it's all cut and assembling. Cass is back on deck, so I will have your blocks out to you and more assembly instructions. It's all happening at the moment, so as quick as we can. Every day we're working on it now, in between everything else. What I have decided to do, instead of you waiting any longer, I'm sending you out your assembly instructions, and we're kind of going to be working on it at the same time, because let's be honest, I'm not going to make you wait until I've got the whole thing done, dusted together and quilted. That's just not fair. So I have decided that you will get a 13th pack, which is not going to cost you anything. I will be sending out a 13th pack with a picture of the final quilt, with what I have done with embellishments and things, with it quilted, and that's the end of May. But nothing will hold you up with completing your quilt top. You will have everything you need, but to actually see mine finished, just with a few notes on quilting and things, I'm going to send you out a 13th pack for free. This is just for the girls that are in Feb. By the time my August and September girls come around, you will get all of yours in the one pack, of course, but I just don't want to hold anyone up. If you have a look, if you are in the group, and if you're not a member of the Chandler's Cottage Applique Sampler Facebook group, which is a private group, please put in a request to join so that you can see where I'm up to and what's going on. A few of people tried to join, and I understand any confusion there, but a few people doing Be Mindful tried to join, and I did have to decline those because it is just for the Applique Sampler girls. It's not the Be Mindful girls. Alright, so I've done a few of these now. You can see what I'm doing. Just a little running stitch right round the outside with a knotted thread, about 1/8 of an inch in. Chop that. Now what you're going to do is grab this sandpaper template and put it back inside. What shall we use for it? I have no idea what I did with that ironing board. Oh, there it is. Okay. So pop that onto an ironing board. Use the thread that you've left on to give it a little pull up. So this is a great way to get really nice little circles and curves. I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to hit it with the iron. Now usually I use steam, and I don't think there is any steam in my... Geez, these irons are good though, aren't they? Talk about hot stuff. That is permanently pressed really nice. If not, bit of starch, bit of steam, and pour that out. And then I just use that little bit of thread again to reshape it so it all stays nice. I've heard a lot about bad language being used making these during the applique sampler. And, you know, different fabrics behave differently. I'm going to chop off that extra thread now. And now we need another one. We just need a fresh bit. Nice strong thread too, folks. Nothing thin. Don't use silk. Use a really good strong machine thread. Not something you've had in your sewing basket since the... How far do we want to go back? 70s, 60s. I wish I still did have some of those. I think I did have wooden cotton reels that were my grandmother's, and I just don't know where they are. There's a couple in Rob's mum's sewing box. If you saw the soiree post of Karen's kit sitting on my late mother-in-law's beautiful walnut sewing box, that is my absolute pride and joy. Now taking my needle up on the fold, and we're going to do a running stitch right round on the fold this time, not too small. You want your stitches quite big, about 1/4 inch. Do you know I don't use that sewing box? It just sits there with a few things of her still in it, and I really should, I don't know, pop my English paper piecing in there or something. I don't know, but it should be in use. Okay. So this is going to be a little one, and my applique girls are going to get really cross with me. But persevere, because we need these for our geisha as well. I'm just, let me see it, I'm just pulling it up as I go. You keep it flat on the first round, but on this round you need to pull up as you go, or it's just going to be too much strain on the thread. Move that out of the way. Put my finger inside, pull the thread, and it will pull it up into a very, very tight. You can see how much strength, so much stress you've got to put on that thread, so it's got to be strong. So you can see that now I've got my little Suffolk puff, teeny weeny Suffolk puff. About now, the girls are going to throw this. Oh, I'm not happy you're getting this to do near winter, because I fear for my tea tree flowers if you have an open fire. I can just feel it. They're just going to get thrown in, and the flames are going to roar. Okay, so just a few tacking stitches through the folds to hold it all in place. You can see I'm just pushing the little folds, little gathers in a bit. I'm going to hold them down. Now, this would make a great start to a wattle flower if I'd done this in yellow, and so I'm sure some of the girls doing the sampler will do that. So I would use that as my little puff, my little wattle puff, and what you could actually do is add in, you know, a few stem stitches with some French knots to make it look all nice and fluffy. So that is done. And you're going to kill me. Up through the middle, down through the middle. I do that so that I know that my needle is positioned right smack in the middle underneath. Then you bring your thread up and over the edge, and then you take your needle back down into the middle, and ever so gently hold it and give it a tug, and it's going to start pulling in the edge. And this is what's going to form the shape of the petals. So I go over the same spot again. Please do have a look on YouTube. I can't remember which show it is. It's the one, I think I'm sitting in the lounge room at the table on a craft and cook show, and we do pre-shaping for the day. And I'm sure we hit these. I'm sure we do in that. And if you're doing the sampler, you've also got, you know, demonstrations sort of through the quilt, because we used it to do pea flowers on the trellis, and then we did other flowers after that. Because this is so small, I'm jumping straight across to the other side, so I'm sort of cutting the circle in half. Go over it twice to hold it. So now, for all intents and purposes, I've got a little buzzy bee. So he's in half. Okay, and then I fear that there's half of you with your glasses on, with your face to the camera now, because you can't see it that well. Sorry about that. So now I'm going in quarters. So split one side, and that is where I would stop if this was going to be a little pea flower. I'll pop them down on there. Here's a little pea flower, and then I'll go around to the other side. And fill in that last half and cut it down into 2 quarters. And then I'll have a 4 petal. So because of this fabric, it's metallic, and it's quite thick, and it's really high thread count. It would be a real challenge to get him that small, that teeny weeny, get him that small into 5 petals. If I was running with a silk or a batik or a fine Liberty lawn, then because it's a lot thinner, I would be able to. That is a really, really bad effort, because I'm holding it over here. That's a shocker. He's not going to make it onto my block. I might just put that in there as a picture of how it shouldn't look. But that, yeah, I really wasn't watching as I went. He's looks like he's had, you know, a bit of Osmocote for growing, but only on 3 petals. So I'll just put him back down there. He is pathetic. Maybe if I hold him on my hand, you can see him. There you go. But that is the size that I want to work to on the last block, just to tick everyone off. So they're really, really good. And the 5 petals looks fantastic. And if you can get them even, it's really, really good. But the 4 petals, they have other things that you can use them for. So, you know, I'm using them as individual flowers, but if you do 4 petal ones, then you cluster them together to give you, big hydrangea heads, or perhaps lilac. And lilac is fantastic, because if you get one of those templates from the newsagent or Officeworks, wherever, where you've got lots and lots of circles that go from large to small, you can mess with people's heads with those and do a whole series of templates where they're slowly getting smaller. So if you're doing a beautiful head of lilac, you use the big ones at the bottom, and as you head towards the top of the lilac flower, you get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it just looks amazing, and it looks almost 3D. And again, back to the hydrangeas, that's where these ombres all come into play, because, you know, we've got purples and blues. So you would make a whole heap of 4 petal ones out of a strip of this, and then you've got all your beautiful shades to use. And so you could do this big head cluster of a hydrangea and have, you know, light to dark shades all in beautiful hydrangea blue colours. So just too much to do. There is just too much to do, and we haven't got enough time. So yes. Anyway, I hope, look, it's just a little bit of a play today. No major fabric designer launches or anything. No major quilt project club stuff. Just a little hate play. But I hope you got something out of it. I'm feeling really selfish and guilty now, because I really enjoyed that, and I'm into this. I'll keep looking at the screen to make sure you can see it. But this is, what do we say? This has got legs. This definitely has legs. And in my office, we did it ages ago. You know those black and gold deluxe packs of Fat Eights we've had for a while, and we update them every now and then. I actually made Dresden wedges, fans, with this template. Before we moved out of the warehouse, popped them onto my cream Summer Palace lattice background, ready to quilt. Found it folded up in a very neat little basket, and it was at the bottom of the basket and I didn't even know it was there. I'd completely forgotten. So I need to pull that out and show it to you. So I might pop in and see you. Hey, I'm not sure when we'll get together again. Look, next week's really, really busy, for obvious reasons, and you know, we're all out of practice running events and packing and doing lots of different things. So I won't set an official time, but I will just pop in into a Quilter's Life and say hi when there's stuff to share this week, and also just pop in and say hi here when I get a chance. So, and I know I will definitely come and see you, but I won't set an official time or anything for next week yet, because we'll just have to see how things run with getting everything ready and getting clubs out and getting ready for the soiree. But listen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Carol, you're most welcome. And Yvonne and Suze and Di, shouldn't you be going to bed? I'm not sure. Jeanette. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and yeah, I look forward to catching up in the next week or two. And most importantly, for those coming to the soiree, I shall see you. Oh, do you want stats? I think Saturdays, if it wasn't at lunchtime, it's now pretty much full. So if you do want to come, we have room on the Sunday, but the Saturday, I think, is well, if there's any left for the Saturday, it's like 3 or 4 tickets. We sort of set a level that we were comfortable with in terms of, you know, tables and catering and looking after you and everything. So I'm pretty sure Saturday's done. There might have been 2 or 3 spots left that Kate wanted to book. And then we've got a few more spots left for the Sunday. All right. But thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And I look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. Okay? Bye. Thanks, girls. Bye.